Hey guys, it's Alex, the Bearded Baldy, here trying to make another attempt at a grieving video. I made a couple last year, but they kind of died in the water. Didn't know where to take them. Um, but this video is going to be a little different. It's going to be more about my point of view of how things have gone in a year since losing my little sister Andrea April 29th. Now, this is just a point of view. This does not reflect like what I think people should do to fix themselves. Like, everyone goes through their own thing. Hell, I have a roof over my head. Some people might end up homeless. Some people might end up in a worse situation. Like, so just because you need this to fix that, for me, it's different for someone else. But that being said, I guess I should begin around the time of the funeral. That was definitely hard. I mean, between fighting of thinking that this isn't real to having to change my daily routine with one thing is just like, I didn't talk to my little sister every day, but it would be every other day. Hell, I hate phone calls, and we'd be on the phone for like a couple minutes. It wouldn't be nothing bad, not too long, I mean. And I don't know, just that sudden change, and trying to fix myself at the time is just like, I made a huge mistake in my eyes. Instead of trying to take things slowly, I try to go a little too fast, maybe speed up the day. I would drink like every other hour, whatever it may be, and that's not good. At least for me. I was definitely not in a good situation. Like, everything just felt the same, and I needed change, and just didn't know how to go about it. In July, I ended up moving with my cousin's mom, and like, that was the best change that I could have had. Suddenly, things were different. Things were a lot slower, and oddly enough, that's exactly what I needed. And like, sure, I'd have the occasional memory of my sister, and leaving work, going home, I'd be in the driveway and I would break down, like, but I needed it. I'd go back into the house, and I'd take a shower, I'd sleep, I'd feel better. I needed that little breakdown. I told my mom that if she plans on moving in with us, that give me some time, like, wait until November. But no, she jumped the gun until September, and did it in September, and that was the hardest, like, because when I thought I was making progress, hell, I didn't even drink like I used to then. Like, I would have bottles around, and I would drink like what, once every other week. But seeing my mom and not seeing my sister around, which is like they were usually together, definitely made things hard. I couldn't break down in the driveway anymore. And if I went inside, slightly teary-eyed, it'd be a whole conversation of, "Are you okay?" Now, this has definitely put a strain on my relationship with my mom. I think she thinks things are fine, but I mean, I for one I can't do it. um, my relationship with mom is, I don't know. I'm not liking where things are at right now. And sure, no, she's not a bad person at all. If you don't know her, she's the nicest person in the world. But I have no relationship with my dad. Now that's a good one to hear. I put 30% of the blame of what happened on him. In her freaking diaries, she says so. And I've accepted it. Honestly, it feels great. Another weight lifted off my shoulders. Like, fast forwarding to December, and Christmas time sucks. Holidays, memories of family being together, my family, and all this freaking religion and stuff, and like, it's not for me. Like, in the beginning, I tried to be religious, but it just wasn't working. Like, I felt weaker then, and crying a lot more. But I've had to believe in myself. Like, I want to wake up tomorrow because of me, not because God wants it to be or whatever. Like, I don't believe in that. That's just me. It's my point of view. This is not saying that I'm knocking anything on any religions. But it's just how I am. Like, but I've had to work in a station where it's kind of the same thing every frickin' day. And the worst part of it is that, like, I'm staring at a wall, and honestly, that was challenging because at the time I was overthinking, and I stopped going to my therapy sessions for a little bit, which I needed to go. And I recommend going to therapy if you need it. Actually, if you think you need it, you need it. But I kept overthinking a lot, and if it wasn't busy enough when I was at work, then I would overthink like crazy. I had one panic attack. That was bad. Hell, I had two. The other one was it was New Year's. Everything was fine. And then a coworker said everything's going to be okay. And then, like, I was holding it before that. But then when that coworker hugged me, I couldn't be there. I had to leave. It's a freaking New Year. Everyone's celebrating. Everyone's happy. Everyone's hugging. And it's like, what do I have to celebrate for? I didn't even want to go out there to begin with. If it were up to me, I would have just stayed working instead of joining everybody else. But it is what it is. I mean, I've been fortunate to have some pretty good coworkers. I'm pretty close to some of them, and that's all I've needed. Like, those few that I'm really close to, and like, they help me out. Like, it's never a matter of like, I talk about my sister every freaking day. It'll always be a conversation randomly of like, how are your days off? What did you think about this show? Whatever it may be. Or something stupid. But like, not having to think about what I was going through helped things out. And there was a moment where I had a situation where some problem came between I and another coworker in a way, and it sucked because I was really close to them, but then I realized that, like, no matter how much I talked to them, I had eyes prying over my shoulder, and people would think that things were going on, and that really put an unneeded strain on it. And like, I don't have a lot right now. I don't. And that's fine with me. I really don't need a lot to keep going. But the very little that I actually care about, I'm at the point where I can't lose that. And I really admire the friends that I have now. And that's honestly all I need. Sure, I keep making mistakes and all that, but like, I'm really fighting through it. And it's about to be a year, and I can't believe that. I'm trying to make moves to where I can go to or leave Florida. It was a weird reason why we needed to leave, but I need it. A whole new lifestyle or something. Hopefully it works out. But there's nothing that I miss right now. Everything that I have is fine with me. But alright, I tried to make this video 6 minutes long, but it's almost 10. Anyway, don't forget to be awesome.